Okay, guys, this time we're going to focus on what we mentioned, having the verticals as the key element to build our strategy. Okay, this is an example. It's always done for Japan. Okay, it's a little bit simpler to do it this way. What is this? Basically, what are our key verticals? Okay, and what do we know about our key verticals? We know three key areas, or we can divide them in segments with three key areas. Barriers of entry. Do the market have a lot of barriers for us to penetrate in 3D printing? Alignment with HP roadmap. Do we have applications? Are these areas where we have strength? And the size of the actual markets. Okay, if the market is very small but the barriers to entry are very low and our product is very adequate, hey, we might be a key area of target. Okay, and this is basically my assessment. You guys have to work through it, but in reality, we should get the applications team, Paloma in Barcelona and Virginia and Simon to work on this, okay, or to give us their inputs. But ideally, for example, here's the case of Japan. We have healthcare, okay, we're in prosthetics and dental. We do have applications, or our roadmap seem to be pretty adequate to penetrate into this market, but there's a lot of barriers to entry. Why? Because we've discussed several times with Jin, and actually I've checked with other people that the medical sector in Japan is incredibly conservative, and it will take us forever to get any advancement. Or military and aerospace. There can be areas where our product is very adequate, maybe not in aerospace, but maybe in military, but it has also barriers of entry. Where do we see key areas? Very clear areas. Part providers, okay? Part providers you'll see below. We're talking about service bureau, CNC, injection molding kind of part suppliers, okay? Or education and research. They seem to be smaller markets, but that are in the high area, in the area here where we have lower barriers to entry, better education to HP roadmap, okay? In terms of where should we focus, we need to kind of divide. This is just a tool. You guys need to make it your own, and we will debate with the key information deciders, which are the applications team and the applications team in terms of business development and in terms of technical. What does that give us? Down, we break it down, okay, and we have different sectors with different size of the market. Okay, let's break it down into the subsegments. Okay, you'll have the current subsegments that we have, and here this is my prioritization, but it's up to you to. Well, it's up to us to debate between us and with the applications team, especially with Simon on the technical side, I'm going to on the technical side, but especially with Paloma, the business development on where are we going to have tools? Because what we want is to prioritize. Where are we going to go? Doesn't matter if we have part provider, we can go to CNC machine. We need to prioritize. We need to take 5 and make those our priorities. Why? Because we need to win in 5. Let's stop tackling every market, okay? And how are we going to do it? If we have the support from the applications team in that sense, okay? So here, for example, in part providers, service bureau, top priority. We all know that this is going to be across the board. Focus on that. Education, very clearly, okay? It's the low-hanging fruit, which it should be part of our funnel. Electronics, prosthetics, automotive. This is in the case of Japan. These are the bigger markets. This is where we're going to focus. Do we have other applications? We have other applications in packaging and drones. Maybe we can tackle them if we have opportunities or if we have dominated already this kind of markets, okay? This will also give us automatically a kind of percentage of investment that we should be doing. Okay, in the end, you want to go where the market is and you want to invest where the market is. A kind of percentage of where we should go in, okay? This is in terms of the verticals. But if we look at the go-to-market, what do we have? Okay, as we mentioned before, very important, crossing the vertical and the partner. Do we have strong partners in key verticals? Now we have the same number that we had before. Okay, we're just looking at the verticals here, and we're saying, okay, which are the bigger verticals in Japan? Let's say automotive is one of the biggest, and part providers is the second biggest. What do we see here? That, for example, this is just an example. Actually, this number is wrong. Okay, Solace. Solace seems to be in Japan the partner to bet. 60% of the sales, unless we have new partners, will come from Solace. Muto and Rico, maybe 20% each. Out of the total of the 60%, out of the 100% effort of Solace, 70% we could put in automotive, 30% in industrial. Okay, industrial includes electronics, NEC, Panasonic, and all this kind of companies. In the case of Muto and Rico, industrial, we could do education and research, part provider. It's up to us to decide which is the mix. In the end, the interesting thing is this kind of gives us a signal of, if we look at this, the formula will come out automatically. we should invest in transportation, in supplies, automotive supplies, 50% of our budget. Why? Because that's where our priorities are. Okay, this gives us guidance. Afterwards, we might not have the right events at that time. We might have issues with budget. We might have many problems, but we need to create a guidance of what do we need. If you look at that, okay, then we have another stage. Okay, when you think about this, the activity. What kind of activity should we be doing? Activities focusing on awareness. We're talking about the customer journey here, the sales cycle. Where are we in the customer journey? In the awareness phase. In Japan, we've already been in all the big events. Okay, we've been there for a year. I think we've attended 4 of the biggest events of trade shows. I think we need clearly the market, the customers who need to be aware of our 3D printer should already know about our 3D printer. When you think about consideration, this is the area and decision. We should be talking to customers. We should be doing seminars. We should be doing webinars. We should be focusing on the time on the discussion with customer. Consider our brand. You know about our brand. Think about it as the solution. If you're thinking about productivity, if you're thinking about final part manufacturing, and decision. When we're trying to, especially here's the benchmark area where our applications team has a lot of weight. But this is key. How are we working with the key people? Okay, on workshops with customers, this kind of activities. Okay, this should be the mix that we should have. Okay, that's why in part of your marketing tool, our marketing plans, you have a column where you have to specify what type of activity we're doing. Okay, and that will bring us down to segmentation of customer focus. Where are we focusing on? Service bureaus, for example. This is the example that I made for Japan, to be challenged by category team, by challenged by everybody, by you guys. Let's focus on service bureau. 25% of our effort or our assortment should be coming between service bureau, automotive, engineering companies. This is the kind of mix that we've created thanks to setting up what are our priorities. Okay, when we look at what we're building, we have to build it from here. And where does this focus? For example, service bureaus, very clearly. Let's go to Japan, top customers. We need to have a list. I know you guys have separate lists, but we need to have a list, and you'll have this where you have a vertical segment. Okay, where we'll be able to go to each account, okay, and focus on, have we engaged them? Are they in Microsoft Dynamics? Are there already opportunity? Each of the key verticals has to have a very clear list or which accounts we're tackling. Okay, so just as a summary, we're uniting the focus on verticals, which are our key priorities in terms of verticals, sub-segments. How are we going to link this to our partners? Okay, what is the focus and investment? Solis, automotive, and then how are we going to build our marketing plans linked to certain sub-segments? Okay, afterwards I'll show you a PowerPoint where we can explain this in a more visual and appealing way.